Hello? Hey, everybody. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Leave a chat. Wow. I am so excited to meet y'all. I've been chatting with some of you in Instagram chat. A bit choppy. Okay. Output. Okay, so it sounds like you can all hear me really well, but my video is wigging out. I apologize. This is my first time. I thought it had it all figured out. Okay. If anybody is an expert in OBS, feel free to write me a tip. I've got my video output at 3,500 kilobits a second, which I think is pretty good. Okay. Sparrowhawk says, streaming is a pain. It's okay. Yeah, I should have known. Let me know if I need to lower the resolution. Okay, let me try that. Thank you. I'll try. Yeah, I'm seeing some kind of connection mischief as well. Video getting better. I'm streaming on OBS. Oh, my graphics card. Just whatever is built into my MacBook Pro 2019, which is the Radeon Pro. Oh, no, Intel. I don't know. I had it at 3,500. I'm lowering it now to 3,000. Set to 8,000. Okay, I think I see that it's improving. It's a little bit delayed, but it is like chopping. Oh, I see that. Okay. Let me try lowering it a little bit more. I just like really high quality everything, so I always start with the highest quality. Let's drop it. Thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. Hopefully I'll make it worth your while. Still looks a little choppy, but says I have an excellent connection. I don't know. Make it pixelated like Nine Inch Nails artwork, says Aiden. Yeah, right? I can just bring this down to 5 samples of kilobits per second and then just say it's art. Very often streaming in 1080p doesn't work. Oh, am I doing that? Getting closer. Haha. Y'all are clever. Works fine for me, Ix. Okay, well, let's just keep going. If it's starting to get choppy again and I'm not noticing that, please do let me know. I'll try to keep my eye closely on the chat. Year 0 stream only. Wonderful. Okay. Wow. Well, I recognize some of you already, but feel free to put in the chat. Oh, yeah. If you want to say your name, if not, that's fine. Kind of where you're streaming from. And what year, if you remember, you discovered Nine Inch Nails. Someone says, I fixed it. Ah, I did. Uppercase F, right? The stream is going just like I imagined. Yes. Actually, I'm wearing my Just Like You Imagined video outfit because that is my favorite Nine Inch Nails song. I'm so delighted with how clever you all are. It's another one of my passions is wordplay. And there's so many opportunities for wordplay with Nine Inch Nails titles and lyrics. I think we could probably have a whole conversation just in Nine Inch Nails lyrics and song titles. We're all in this together now. That's right. Good to see you, Window Liquor. 808. Hi, Ryan from Sons of Otis. Toronto, nice. 92, man, that is so early. Kansas. Pennsylvania, 2004. Ooh, this is going faster than I thought. We got somebody who discovered Nine Inch Nails in 2015. Nice. Oh, wow. Y'all are going faster than I imagined. Matt from Michigan since 1990. Amazing. Pre-TDS fans, yes. 2016, awesome. 1988? David Z found out about them in 1988? How's that even possible? Well, I guess they were playing live, right? They just hadn't released their record. Summer of 94. Argentina, wow. I wonder what time it is there. I discovered left-handed guitarist. It's good to hear from you. I think I also actually discovered them in year 2000. I thought it was earlier, but I've been thinking about it. Kind of a nice turn of the century. I won't let the video fall apart, says Nikos. Katie, Massachusetts. I think we were chatting. Yay. 2004. Nice. Do you have a favorite classical musician? Okay, we'll get into the Q&A in just a sec. I'm just so happy to meet you all. Greetings from Australia. Saw the downward spiral 3 times in Toronto. Wow, wow, wow. Cheers from Poland. Discovered Nine Inch Nails at 18 about 4 years ago. It's never too late. That is awesome. It's 17. Wow. Awesome, awesome. Survivalism was my first Nine Inch Nails song, says Epic Goose. Yeah, that's a great track. First lockdown March. Wow, wow. Well, feel free to keep introducing yourselves as you come on. It is moving a little faster than I was expecting. I know I've said that before, but I'll be able to go back and see all your wonderful names. Anybody in here happen to be a musician? No worries if you're not. I'm just curious if anybody else plays an instrument or sings or produces music or writes music or is a poet. Or if you're just obsessed with music like me. Year Zero is my first album I purchased. Nice. I should do a bit on the rhythmic ambiguity of survivalism. I totally agree. It is in the works. I am so excited about that one. The biggest case of rhythmic displacement that Nine Inch Nails will ever give you. Left-handed guitarist, yeah. Echo 13, envious of all the newer fans. Yeah, I understand. To go back and be able to hear everything for the first time. Guitar, drummer and producer, nice. Bassist. Computer music. Me too. I'm composing right now. Like right this second. Piano teacher. Yes, piano, keyboard. That was my first instrument. Guitarist. A lot of guitarists. You know, I actually tried to learn how to play the guitar. when I was 15, and it didn't work out. My fingers were killing me, and I had no patience. And I learned a few chords. I still remember them. I think like E major, E minor, and A minor. And then I just was like, well, I'm done. But after, what was the song analyzing? When I first like figured out what the EBO was, which has only been the last couple months, I thought, I kind of want a guitar now and I want an EBO because I want to make some crazy noises. What's it called where Trent does a melody that plays in your mind one way but is actually a different loop of notes like an eraser? I'm not sure what you mean. It plays in your mind one way but is actually a different loop of notes. I love that. I don't know. You'll have to explain another way, or maybe we'll have to listen to something. Oh, another disappointment is I could not get my computer audio to work. So I was hoping maybe we could listen to something today together, but I can't get the audio to play from my computer, only through my mic. But that's okay, because actually I think we have so much to talk about right now. Rick Beato has competition. I mean, we're pretty different. I don't think he wears purple lipstick, so get a trumpet and a mic through an amp. Yes, actually, Lisa Kakos, she's a producer I'm in touch with, and she does crazy stuff with the trumpet. It's ethereal and spooky. Electric guitar is way easier than you think. Yeah, I should probably try that again, shouldn't I? I'm a lot older now. The EBO is not that magic alone. You definitely need a distortion pedal. Okay. Oh, I'm going to go down the pedal rabbit hole, aren't I? What's my day job? I have a part-time job organizing files at an office. So as you can imagine, that is my dream. My dream is to do this full-time, is to produce music, write music for film, make educational content, talk with other musicians, just anything to do with music. So I like Rick, but I love this channel. Oh. Don't make it talk about work. Yeah, we're done with work for now. The guitar line for Racer. Okay, I will have to go back to that comment. Ferris, I will go back to your comment. We'll talk. Just tune the guitar to drop D. Isn't that what all like metal, especially new metal, is all in drop D, right? Like Korn. You must be a music teacher as well. Actually, no. I mean, I'm starting to become a music teacher. That is like in progress. But I haven't taught before. I've been hiding. You should color coordinate your lipstick to whichever album you're analyzing. Ooh, now that, what should I do for Downward Spiral then? Would it be like black and red with like dead flies on it? Elena. Oh, that's so sweet. She says, if I'm not a teacher, I found my calling. I feel like the trilogy is one of the best Nine Inch Nails. Sorry, I'm mumbling. Modular Synths. Holla! Love your solo piano. Thank you. A tone of Nine Inch Nails songs are in drop D. Oh, hey, Luke Harrison. I remember talking with you in the last couple days. Do you think Trent was hotter? I'm not going to touch that one. You could explain it better in a response video if you don't mind. Yes, thank you, Ferris. Maybe I can make a video about your question. Marbled print yellow is what Emil suggests for my lipstick. I'm going to have to get a makeup artist. I am not a makeup artist. I just take the lipstick, guys. I just do this. Core might be as low as drop B. Oh, yeah, because Fieldy's bass would just rattle like death. What themes theory-wise are signature Trent? Oh, I could go on and on about that. That would be like 5 different videos. I mean, just right now I would say like minor sevenths and tritones. These are 2 intervals that make his music sound the way it does, regardless of the instrumentation or the production. And those, I mean, not to say that other musicians don't use those intervals, but not the way he does. Like, he beyond embraces them. He, like, I think I said in another video, like, they use him. But there are a lot of other things. The major third, a lot of it's interval based, really. But that's kind of makes sense, though, because once you strip away all the production and instrumentation, what's kind of left is just pitches and rhythms. I will answer that question more thoroughly in a video. I promise. It is coming. I have so many ideas, everybody. Fieldy was playing percussion. Okay, now I'm going to talk about quarantine more. That's another live stream. Tips for a newbie. A newbie for what? Are you an instrumentalist or a songwriter? Or just learning music theory? Were you planning to do all of TDS straight through without breaks or mix stuff in? Pretty much, yeah. Well, at first I thought, well, people that don't like the downward spiral are going to get bored if I don't mix other things in. However, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make anything of quality in between these videos because I'm putting a lot into them. But what I think might happen is that, you know, I play stuff all the time. I experiment with improvisation after every analysis I record. So there could be like another piano cover that comes out or a remix or something. Or, you know, one day I might wake up and just have Help Me, I'm in Hell in my head and have to make a video. So we'll see. I'm a professional makeup artist. I'd help if I lived in Texas. Thank you, Kathleen. You can give me tips. Don't look at my lips. You guys are so great. Have you listened to the Soul Score? I listened to Epiphany and I did a reaction video on that. So you can find that in my channel. But I haven't listened to the rest or seen the movie. I'm actually really behind on Trent and Atticus scores. Really, really behind. I have dreams of doing listening parties with you all. I would be interested to see you do similar dives on Tool songs, says Sparrowhawk. Yes, that is absolutely going to happen. That's going to be quite a project, but yeah. I'll just say that, yes. If you don't like TDS, how can you say you like Nine Inch Nails? Yeah, well, you know, it's Nine Inch Nails. I just feel like their music spans so many genres and emotions, and I could see how someone might just have a trouble with the downward spiral. Maybe it's a little bit too much, or too hard, or too noisy, or you know, they just don't like it. Will you do Radiohead? I saw someone say, "Will you do Radiohead?" Yes, I will do Radiohead. I've been analyzing Radiohead for years. I just haven't been sharing it with anybody. I'm a newbie creating music, I guess. I create soundscapes for my own visual art. Ooh, but I'm musically new. I play a little guitar, but mainly do vocals. That's from Aaron. Tips. Well, I think I would probably need to ask you a few more questions, like what are you making your music in? But honestly, the best advice I can give you is just to experiment and believe in yourself and not worry so much. Because sometimes you're going to make something that's really cool that you like, and sometimes it's just not going to work out, but just keep going. Maybe find a scale, you know, a set of 7 notes that for whatever reason you really like, and just try to write a song with just those notes. Or even 4 notes. 5 notes. Pentatonic scale is a great form of inspiration, by the way. Pentatonic scale, especially the minor one, I think. I can turn my keyboard on, but again, the audio is going to be going through the mic, so it's probably not going to sound very good. You can't hit any wrong notes with the pentatonic scale, so have fun. Pretty Hate Machine, do you think it influenced pop music? Ooh, I don't know. I also don't know if I'm the best person to comment on that kind of thing. Poll on Instagram. A poll for what? People who don't like the aren't people. People who don't like the downward spiral aren't people. Oh, well, they might be piggies. Maybe it's just hits too close to home for them. Are you a fan of Radiohead? Yes, absolutely. I can't remember the year. It was probably all around the same time, honestly. But I got OK Computer and was obsessed. What kickstarted this Nine Inch Nails analysis endeavor? And what other artists do you obsess over? Oh, so many. So this wasn't an endeavor at first. I basically, I have a background in music theory. Actually, I have a degree in music theory. And I have a couple musician friends that also have theory knowledge. And so whenever we talk about music, it's just, we just can't stop. But I guess I never really found like a consistent outlet for talking to folks about how I experience music. And I took a long break from music after college, and I'm kind of in the last few years just getting back into it. And so I made an Instagram. I started, posting original piano stuff and covers. And one day I was just listening to The Fragile, as one does. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so simple. How is this so amazing? And it's just 2 notes at a time. And I just put on a black dress and made a video and put it on the internet. And I had no idea what was going to happen. I thought maybe 5 people would be like, cool, Nine Inch Nails is cool. But, it wasn't like explosive right away, but I did it and I loved it. And I actually, that first video was just me playing it. And then I annotated the intervals on the keyboard and then like major third, minor third, that kind of thing in text. And then I thought, oh man, I have so much to say about this. So I made another video where I'm like, I just want to talk more about this. And I just kind of rambled and made that video, and people were into it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to make these videos. I am tired of hiding, and I'm tired of keeping all of this to myself. And people seem to really get a lot out of it. And we're talking about it. And so here we are. It has grown quickly and is so rewarding. And I'm just so excited. Thank you all. What other artists do I obsess over? Oh gosh. Yeah, I obsess over Radiohead for sure. Deftones? I obsess over the Deftones. In fact, I started to teach myself how to drum the past 4 years, and it was because of the Deftones. It's like, if I can just play My Own Summer, I will die happy. Who else do I obsess over? Oh, so many. I feel put on the spot. Okay. Any advice for musicians who find it hard to finish songs? Oh, yeah. That can be really hard. I have so many ideas as well that just never became songs. So I understand. I think trying to get out of your own way is really important, and just like recognize that if you don't finish the song, then no one will hear it. It will never end. And believe me, I have songs I've been working on for like 20 years, and I'm finally actually releasing them. And I just had to finish it. There's just some point where you just have to be like, this is good enough. This says what I need to say. Maybe it's not to its fullest potential. If you're talking more about like you can't figure out the ending to your song, actually, there's a video I'm going to link you to. It's like 10 different ways to end songs. Let's see if I can do that. It's Dano with Rule Your Sound. She makes videos for independent artists. Let me see if I can. If I put it in the chat, is it just going to like disappear immediately? 10 ways to end a song. Okay, you know what? I can do that afterwards, right? I can just make a comment. Is that purple? Yeah, I'm wearing purple lipstick. It's pretty dark though on the spectrum. Closer to blue, but still purple. Kind of like Trent's neutral thirds, where they're like both major and minor. It's both purple and blue. The becoming used to always freak me out. Julian, me too. Yes, I used to like have a really hard time getting through the becoming, which is, one of the best songs ever written. But the screams just were really disturbing to me. I think I was like 15 or 16. And for whatever reason, it was just a little too much. I couldn't get through it. And of course I was missing out. But eventually, I grew out of that, and now it's the best. Okay, please cover. Oh. If you like Quake. Oh gosh, I have not heard Quake. I didn't even know it existed until I met all of you. I'm one of those Nine Inch Nails fans who just like, here, I actually have them right here. A boyfriend of mine years ago, he just gave me all the MP3s that he had of Nine Inch Nails. And I had the Downward Spiral already and had been listening to it on repeat for like 10 years or something. And but I didn't have really any of the other stuff, and he put it all on these discs, and this is what I've been listening to for the past 10 years, which is shameful. So I was like, I need to do this right. So I did just recently buy a bunch of them on CD, and I still have a CD player in my car. But my point is, I have been sort of out of the loop with like the whole discography and everything that Trent Reznor has ever done, which is a bummer in some ways, but also it means that there's new Nine Inch Nails for me to listen to. So I'm kind of grateful. And I can listen to it with you guys. The Deftones drummer is a really interesting metal drummer. Negative Space and Gaps. Yes, Sparrowhawk. Totally agree. Don't get me started. The Fragile Deviations is a rediscovery of the album. Oh, yeah. I think I actually... Echo 13, is that what you gave me? Did I download the Fragile Deviations? It's like 32 tracks. Yes. Smashing Pumpkins. Smashing Pumpkins are amazing. I have nothing but good things to say about them. I'm not super familiar. I think my best friend in middle school had Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, so we listened to that a lot. Thanks a lot. Okay. I'm behind on the chat. Nine Inch Nails gasm. The Becoming Still version helped me fall in love with the TDS version. I can totally see that, like a gateway, because the piano is a lot more accessible, I think, than that synth. And without the screams. Have I heard Ghosts 5 and 6 yet? Nope. That one's intentional, though. It came out and I was like, I don't know. I know it was in 2020, but I was like, I just feel like I want to wait. And I know now I'm waiting because I want you to listen to it with me or react or something. Quake is on streaming now. Cool. Yes, I have seen that on Spotify. I'm sorry I can't answer all your questions, y'all. I can do my best to answer a bunch of them afterwards, though. I can go through the live chat. Okay. Missed the final. Still buy the CDs too. Yeah. Have you heard Trent's cover of Bowie's Fashion? Yes, I have watched it multiple times. Super fun. Never thought I would hear Trent Reznor say beep beep. Also, I loved, what's the other one that they covered, the same concert? I forget, but it was gorgeous. He sounded kind of like Bowie. Broken on Cassette was my first Nine Inch Nails. Man, do you still have it? Life of Lauren. All my Nine Inch Nails, when I discovered them, were on MP3 discs too. Yes. Okay, check out all the singles. Check out all the singles from the Downward Spiral. Yes, I didn't even know. I didn't even know there was a deluxe version, actually, so I haven't heard that part either. It's amazing. So many remixes that I haven't heard yet. I did have Things Falling Apart, though. That was one of the MP3 collections I was given, which is awesome. I love the frail on that album. I guess it's a cello playing the main theme. Or is it violin? Violin. It's a bunch of strings. It's amazing. Ghost 6 is incredible. Good. That's what I want to hear. Nirvana. I never bought a Nirvana record, but I always have loved what was on the radio. So I would say I can't say I'm a fan because I never bought any of their music, but they're also geniuses and they changed music forever. And I enjoyed trying to play Heart-Shaped Box. Is that what it's called, right? Yeah. On the drums. Okay. What do you think about Trent and Bowie playing Hurt and Reptile live? Yeah, that was... I just recently watched that. I didn't know that had happened and I was crying. And then I listened to Trent talking about that experience and how powerful that was, and watching him talk about it while the footage of him like singing next to David Bowie, and you could see this smile on his face, like he couldn't believe it was real. It's really touching. That would be so crazy to like have an idol and then like one day just like be on stage with them. I don't think my nervous system would process that. Sparrowhawk has lost so many Nine Inch Nails CDs because someone stole their CD binder out of their car in 2000. How could they do that to you? That's like the worst kind of theft. Evangelion. Unit 666. Just found your channel yesterday. Love your Nine Inch Nails analysis so far. Thank you. Did you graduate with a focus on music performance or music education or something more specific maybe, says Hella Rogers. Yes. I went to school for music. I had some other artistic inclinations and I wasn't sure if they were going to like overpower the music, but the music won for sure. I ended up getting a degree in music composition and theory. But I think if I had known that what I was doing was music production and not really, I mean, it was composition, but it was really music production, I probably would have chosen that degree because I was producing electronic music at the time. But at the same time, I'm really glad to have had all of those composition classes and theory lessons. And now I have music theory in my degree. So that was actually kind of accidental. But I mean, I'm obviously passionate about it. There's a lot of different sides to music theory. You know, I think people mostly just think of the analytical side. And instead of the really intuitive side of things, the ear training and just like feeling music and having a language to communicate about what's happening. And that's really more what I'm interested in. There's a lot of technical music theory stuff that is still beyond my knowledge, like jazz theory is a whole other thing. But I think it's nice to have a little bit of both. I think it's good to have an intuitive sense of music and then also to have some words and some knowledge of what these rules are, you know, so you can break them more consciously. Just find your channel. Okay. You need to get a Pro Box. Is that an audio interface? Oh, P.O. Box. Oh, P.O. Box. Oh, you guys are going to send me mail? I don't have a Nine Inch Nails shirt yet. I never had band shirts. So I feel like that logo, though, is so minimal and sparse. Like, I feel like I could rock that. Okay. Ghost reaction would be great. Yeah, I think if I can get all the technical stuff figured out, even just doing that live would be really fun. I recently discovered the alternative version of Heart's Filthy Lesson he did for Bowie's Outside, and that one is so good. Truly Significant said that. I have not heard of that. So much good music to discover. Did I ever watch Rick Beato? Actually, I have watched Rick Beato, but I started this channel before I knew about him. Fantastic Voyage. That's the song. Thank you, Harry Hogg. Yeah, I love Fantastic Voyage. Aaron cried to the new Ghost records. I'm probably going to cry too. Okay. Where's a good place? Oh, Harry Hogg also says, where's a good place to start for learning music production as a complete beginner? Well, I think I can send you some YouTube links because there's a lot of really awesome producers who are making really good, intuitive content, really walking you through everything. If you have do you have a Mac? Because if you do, GarageBand is free, and GarageBand is just a baby version of Logic Pro X, which is a really powerful DAW. But also Reaper is free. No, it's not. It used to be. I think it's like $30, and there's some great tutorials on Reaper. I mean, that's just sort of the nuts and bolts of it. Obviously, you know, how you want to write your music is a sort of a different question. I saw Trent and David live at South Park Meadow. Wow. Incredible. You can see that playing with your hero when Nine Inch Nails were touring with Dillinger Escape Plan and did a collab with them on Wish. Oh, cool. That's Antisocial Game said that. Ryan says you should have bought that LP. That's the only original LP of that album. Which one? Maybe you're not talking to me. I experienced Nine Inch Nails in 2013 on a festival as a headliner, and Reptile was so massive I thought I got a heart attack. Yeah, I've seen Reptile live a few times also, and I can totally relate to that feeling, especially since it starts off with just that doop, 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 forever, and all of a sudden, oops. Well, you know what happens. It's amazing. Do you have any non-Apple DAW? Yeah, I would say Reaper would be a good affordable DAW. A lot of folks use Fruity Loops. I don't know, or FL Studio, I guess now. Don't know how much that one costs. I personally use Reason Studios and Logic. Aiden says, I think a lot of us discovered your channel recently because YouTube recommended your analysis of Mr. Self-Destruct. Yes, that is exactly what happened. That video seems to be kind of blowing up, which is, it's great. It's crazy. But I'm glad that sometimes the great algorithm gets it right and has sent you all to me. Would you ever make videos about the sound design of Nine Inch Nails tracks rather than the theory? You know, if I become a lot more well-versed in sound design myself, then yes. But I think at this point, what I say in my videos is typically the extent of my knowledge of sound design. People always say about my music, like, nice sound design. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but I sometimes don't know what I'm doing. I'm sure you all can relate to that, right? If some of you are musicians and people are like, wow, I love that chord progression. And you're like, I don't know, just sounded good. I'm kind of like that with sound design. So maybe though, a collaborative video with a sound designer would be really cool because yeah, he's amazing with sound design, just the atmospheres he creates. Amir, hi Amir. Glad you could make it. What's the difference? Ooh. Where's that comment? I lost where I was. Asher, hey, no worries for being late. We're just talking. I'm afraid of Americans. Echo 13, yes, more of those live streams would be great. I'm loving this so far. Cool. Watchmen series is very good, says Death Media Music, or Death by Media Music. Yes, I actually have heard that from several people. Not surprised. I also want to watch Watchmen because I've heard it's a good show. Still, Ryan says I still have my Nine Inch Nails Downward Spiral tour shirt. It has a moth on it. Oh, I thought you meant a real moth. I was like, oh yeah, that sometimes happens to clothes. Have y'all noticed when you zoom in on the like high res artwork for the Downward Spiral, just how many bugs are on that piece of art? So many moths, so many flies. Manuel says, hey Ixie, are you planning to analyze Trent and Atticus Ross's soundtracks? Yes, at some point I will. It's just a matter of priorities, but yes, definitely. Amir, how did you get to know Nine Inch Nails and when? Okay. All right, maybe hold off on the questions so for a second, because I think this is probably a question I've been asked a lot and I want to answer it and give it enough time. How did I get into Nine Inch Nails? So originally I thought it was when I was 14 because that was when I was listening to this alternative rock station in my hometown. They like weren't bought by Clear Channel, and so it was just like really good music. And that's where I discovered like all the new metal that I was listening to at that age. I was listening to Deftones and Korn and Rob Zombie and yep, even went for the Limp Bizkit at the time. I did listen to Little Filter. I think I bought Short Bus. Static X. I thought they were kind of goofy, but I loved them anyway. I listened to Slipknot. I listened to Slayer. All that stuff. So I thought like, oh yeah, that's when I discovered the Downward Spiral and Nine Inch Nails. But I actually think I was 16. I think it was a couple years later. And I heard Closer on the radio in the car. And I was just like, what is that? Because I was producing like trance music, which if you're familiar, it's, you know, the drum groove is basically kicks on the downbeats and hi-hats on the offbeats. And here was this like, I don't know, had sort of a new metal feel to it, but it was this like slow trudging trance beat basically, you know, and just the fat, it was just so fat. And of course, the subject matter, just, I was like, so I thought that bass line was crazy, and yeah, I was obsessed with it, and I just had never heard anything like it. So I asked my mom, I played it for her on the radio. It's like, check this out. Can I please have this CD? And she said yes. So that's how it started. And I only listened to the Downward Spiral, basically, like I said, on repeat for years and years. I had heard probably Down in It and had like a whole, and maybe even some of the hits from The Fragile, you know, like Every Day's Exactly the Same. We're in This Together. But for whatever reason, they just didn't like grab me. And I was very impatient, and I only like wanted the CDs that like grabbed me. So it was the Downward Spiral that did it. Obviously, there's more to the story, but I'll leave it there. That's how it began. I was just like, I was obsessed with the Downward Spiral. And I was like coming out of kind of a hard time. You know, we've all been through some really hard times. I was depressed in high school, and it was just there at just the right moment. It really helped me get through that. Okay. Whew. What's my favorite Nine Inch Nails album cover? Oh, I mean, I think it has to be the Downward Spiral. I love it. I love it. It's perfect. Actually, I was staring at the high res version of it because, you know, this is an actual physical piece of artwork. It's 3-dimensional too. These are like barbed wires, and the flies are 3-dimensional, and it goes further down. And it's just so vivid, and I don't know, it like these colors really get to me. But it's hard to say, you know, because it was my first, and there's just nothing like your first. Rosso Dude RSD, you were asking for more patterns of adjacent thirds like in Lemaire and Adrift in a Piece. We're in this together. Check out this. Yes, that is exactly right. We're in this together at the very end. We had this beautiful outro that sounds a lot like Adrift in a Piece, but in a 4/4 time signature. Good hearing. But this one, I'm not. Check out the second chorus in Leaving Hope. Ooh. I can't place it right now. And the synth at the end of One Ghosts One. Sweet. Oh, yeah, there are those thirds. That's right. In Ghosts One. Yes, that's true. Very cool. Thank you. Have I seen the videos of Trent, Twig, and Atticus playing with Peter Murphy? I'm not sure. Maybe leave a comment in the... Oh, you guys can't leave real comments yet, right? It's not until this posts on YouTube. Well, I haven't seen it yet. So cool to see people who got into Nine Inch Nails later in their career. I remember when they were new and a lot of people didn't get it, especially in the heavy music world. That's what Ryan says. Yeah, I mean, they definitely evolved and they changed so much. And I could see that for some people, what they kind of evolved into would be a little more accessible. And then they could kind of like ease their way in and work their way back. Antenna Rex, did you know Trent accidentally copied David Bowie's Crystal Japan when he made Warm Place? Yes, I do know that. I hadn't heard Crystal Japan, but I've read about this and I watched an interview between both of them and they're actually talking about it and it's really chill and it's so great. But I think what Trent was, talking about, just that feeling of like you write something really good and you're like, this has to have been written before. Like this is too good to have come from me. And that's how he felt about that. And I think a lot of us have felt that way before. And just the anxiety nowadays that comes with writing something and not knowing if you're plagiarizing some famous song. I definitely wrote the verses for a Madonna song like a year before it came out. I was like 9 years old. It happens. What was that song called? Frozen. Awesome. Good suggestions on DAWs. Very, very good. I love Peter Murphy. Would love to see that. Oh, sorry. Sometimes I don't know if you're talking to me or if you're talking to each other. Okay. I guess if it says Ixie Music, that's definitely for me. Got to do a video about the piano motif at the end of Closer and how it repeats on different parts of the Downward Spiral, like an eraser on acoustic guitar. So musically amazing. Ryan, totally. Yes, I am going to do that. That's something I've always loved. And I mean, there's so many of those themes in his work, self-referential within albums or even extending into other albums. And I've talked about that a little bit, but that Downward Spiral theme is my favorite one. So I am so looking forward to talking about that. Yeah. It's even in Heresy. Yeah. Okay. Nine Inch Nails' first single, Down In It, is basically a cover of Skinny Puppy's Dig It. Oh, I have read that, Ryan. Yes. It was inspired by that for sure. David Z, I miss the raw guitar of Nine Inch Nails. Do you mean like distorted and angry? Window Licker says, A Warm Place is the only thing I can play on piano. Well, what a piece to know. That's extraordinary. Actually, before I knew all of you, I made a cover of A Warm Place kind of accidentally. I was like trying out this mic and playing with effects. And then I was like, ooh, I'm going to sing over the A Warm Place chords. And I laid them down and actually put it on my personal Facebook page, but I'll send it to y'all. You might like it. I'm not like a singer, but Jeff Ham. Hey, Jumper. It's one of my old friends. I miss you and love you too. Oh, I love your videos. Right. Well, I love you. So Sparrowhawk says, too bad Trent didn't have Shazam. I use Shazam all the time. Shady Monk, what are your thoughts or what are your feelings on the Still EP? Oh, it's brilliant. It's amazing. I am still learning about like how it was made. I keep thinking that this sounds kind of like it's live. And then someone says, well, it is live. So I don't know if all of it was live, but was all of it live? Every single track on that is amazing. It's so good. It's so heartbreaking. And all that could have been. I feel like that's a really well tied together EP as well, like thematically. What are some of my favorite Nine Inch Nails remixes, says No. I am behind on remixes. My absolute favorite Nine Inch Nails remix is The Frail from Things Falling Apart. There are these bonkers sound effects going the whole time, like field recordings of machinery and things and breaths, just like exhales. And the violin or viola is playing the melody, which is so emotional. It's like singing, and then it just starts to fall apart slowly. I'm obsessed with it. I just recently heard, which remix was it? A remix of Wish, thanks to one of my subscribers. It's not the 9-minute one that's on Fixed. It's like the shorter one. Can't remember the name, but I was really into that, where he's kind of going like, ah, ah, like melodic screaming, like samples of him screaming. It was dope. Okay. Oh. KJ, would you be interested in analyzing anything by Tool if you're willing to branch out, that is? Yes, I am willing to branch out. Nine Inch Nails is one of my favorite bands, but I also have a lot of other favorite bands and a lot of other bands that are worthy of being analyzed to death. Tool is unparalleled, and I will be analyzing Tool. So yes, I just don't know exactly when. I want to finish analyzing the Downward Spiral, and then I'm going to kind of reassess, like if I'm ready to. I mean, not like if I'm ready to, but if now would be the good time to start branching off. I just want to honor everybody who's here because of Nine Inch Nails, make sure that you guys have what you need. Have I listened? Mark Brugger says, have I listened to Power Man 5000? Nope, I have never even heard of that. Is that a movie score? Laz. Oh, hey. It's good to see you on here. What instruments can I play? I can play the piano. I can play the clarinet. I can play the drums. I can play 3 chords on the guitar. I can play this weird gamelan instrument called a cantilan. I can sing. I can move my way around a vibraphone and a marimba. I think that's it. But I kind of want to maybe think about getting into guitar because that would be awesome. How cool would it be if I'm analyzing and I can just like play stuff? Next level, right? That's going to be years before I can do that. I know. Okay. Phil White says, how do I feel about the Miley Cyrus Head Like a Hole version? I mean, I think it's just so badass that people are getting into Nine Inch Nails now and like the early Nine Inch Nails. So I'm like in full support of it. Stylistically, I guess I just really like hearing Trent scream that personally, but I think she did a good job. I had a hard time hearing her say, I'm on a roll when she did it in Black Mirror, because it felt a little bit like, no, that's not the right words. But I know she just performed it at the Super Bowl, right? And I mean, she does have a really good rock voice, so I don't know. I'm neutral about it. I support her. Oh, and Andy has the same thing. She gave a lot of energy. She put a lot into it, and it sounds like she really likes Nine Inch Nails. Plus, she even played Right Where It Belongs, and with different lyrics in Black Mirror. I thought that was really cool. Have I heard any of, what is that word? I can't pronounce that. Have I heard any of piano covers of Nine Inch Nails Tools Down? No. I would love to hear that. I like listening to string quartet versions of metal music. So I would probably love to hear more piano covers of all of this. Of Deftones? Oh, my heart. Amir, do you prefer the original live version of Closer or the live version Trent introduced in 2005? I cannot answer that question. I don't know if I've heard either of them. I promise I'm not a poser. Sparrowhawk says, I think some of the early guitar tone was due to Richard Patrick being in the band. Cool. Sorry, I don't have anything much to say about that. I probably would have a lot of questions about it, though. Not being a guitarist, I know that tone is an important thing, but I don't know all the ways that it's created. Eric Hall, I feel like Nine Inch Nails is all that makes sense to me musically anymore. Everything else is sounding bland and without depth. You mean like newer stuff or just literally everything else? I mean, music is changing. I think it is getting a little bit simpler in some ways, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just good to have something for everybody. And I'm just glad we have Nine Inch Nails. I'm glad that Trent Reznor decided to share his expression with us. We're very lucky. Okay. Otherwise, I just... Okay, I see some more comments about Black Mirror. Yeah, that seems to trigger a lot of people, honestly, that Miley Cyrus covered that song. I just think we have to remember that even if an artist covers a song and we don't particularly like their take on it, it might actually help somebody find the original. And so I think ultimately it's a good thing. And everyone has, different preferences. Some people might like covers better than the originals. And, I don't think it cheapens it. I think we don't have to connect the covers to the originals if we don't want to. Bye, Amir. Thank you for joining. Talk to you soon. Okay. Midnight Mechanic. Trent writes his own stuff. He doesn't have a team of writers like the new music bands have. Yeah. I was watching a video actually that there's an average of 7 writers on today's hit pop songs. I think it's 7. That's a lot. That's just the writers. That's not the producers, the arrangers, the lyric writers. It's just, well, wait, lyric writers. That doesn't sound right. That's probably the same thing. We need Trent to ironically cover a Cyrus song, says Pretentious. Yes, that would be funny. But I don't know. I bet you he's fine with what Miley Cyrus is doing. I don't know. I mean, she had to get the rights, and it's hard to know, though. Kyle Cram, thanks for the channel. Any interest in looking into the score for Mank? Yes, I am. I feel like a lot of the music I write has some jazz influence. Even though I don't listen to a lot of like straight jazz, I think I love music that's influenced by jazz and jazz fusion, like prog rock with little, jazz fusion in there. Frank Zappa is like one of my favorite artists of all time. So just to hear like Trent Atticus's sort of jazzy take on a score would be awesome. Hey, Ixie, my cat reprised his dance-a-thon during your Mr. Self-Destruct video, and I was cracking up all over again. That's great. Yeah, I got a wonderful video from a subscriber of their cat just having the best time to Nine Inch Nails music. Was it a remix of Closer, right? It was so funny. Okay. How's everybody doing? Want to keep going? We're about to hit an hour. I'm enjoying myself. What was that question? Are you into EDM at all? Says Comrade Misner. Not EDM. Bands like Nitzer Ebb, Front 242, or Decrups. Oh, EBM. I see now. Interesting. I'm not familiar with that acronym. I would love to find out more about that. Electronic bounce music? Electronic badass music? I love electronic everything, honestly. But I mean, I have my preferences like everybody else, but John says, did you also notice that Trent uses the same tritone in March of the Pigs as the bridge in Wish? Yes. I think I even put that in my video. I'll have to go back and double check my my Wish video. He does that the bridge and the I know exactly what you're talking about. It's so cool. They feel like they're related because of that. The tritone is the bridge, not the bridge of the music. You know what I mean? Old Boy Sam, have you listened to Nine Inch Nails' album Strobe Light? No? What is that? Kyle says electronic body music. It's like a mixture between Nine Inch Nails and EDM. That sounds awesome. Electronic bowel movement. Oh, not appropriate. Yeah, leave me some comments to links to EBM. I will totally check it out. Okay. Strobe light, haha. Oh, did I say it wrong? Was it not strobe light? The text is a little small, I have to say, and I'm like further away from my computer than I expected I would be. I want to make sure my mouth is near the mic. Also, I'm old, so, I can't see. How do I decide which song to analyze? Oh, I have a spreadsheet. It's an Airtable. It's like a glorified spreadsheet where you can add pictures and stuff, and cross-reference things. I am a nerd. I have been mapping out my analyses that way. So I have notes on when people request songs, and that's not the only factor at all. I really want to make sure that it's something that I feel really excited about at the time. I've made a couple videos that I haven't uploaded because I just like, it was something I felt like I should do, and it just didn't turn out, So first it has to be something that I sit down at the keyboard and I'm like, oh my God, this is so crazy. When I get that feeling, that's when I know it's time to record the video. But I also I've been trying to bounce around the albums. I still haven't gotten to the slip yet. I was about to do that, and then some stuff happened. We had this crazy winter storm here, and I just kind of pushed everything back. So I've been trying to sort of, span the discography a little bit, but like I said, it's mostly based on what is really exciting me at the time. Right now, I'm analyzing the Downward Spiral start to finish, so I have my schedule set for that, and I'm going to try to end it on Trent's birthday, May 17th. And then after that, we're in open waters. So now that there's so many more of you, I might come up with, I'll talk about that later, but some way that we can vote on these things and get more input. Someone mentioned David Bennett Piano. That is an amazing music theory channel. You guys should go check that out. He analyzes Radiohead, the Beatles a lot. Who else? But yeah, his videos are incredible. Very inspirational to me, actually. A song I should definitely check out if I like Deftones and Nine Inch Nails and music in general. Everyone should listen to this song. Which song? Is that the Strobe Light? Or... Left-handed guitarist. Piano question. Do you think it's humanly possible to work out the crazy piano run in the middle of Just Like You Imagined? Oh, yeah, I do. Because if you watch them play it live, dude's got sheet music. I mean, he might obviously, like that one part, it might be somewhat improvisation, but I actually think he might have actually had that in sheet music, which is crazy. But if you're talking about like me figuring out by ear, yes, I think it is possible, actually. I don't know if I could do it, though. I think someone would need to have perfect pitch so they could hear every single pitch. Because I have relative pitch, For those of you that don't know what that means, perfect pitch is when, like, if I were to go, dude, you would know what note I was singing without even thinking about it. It would sound completely different to you than dude, and you would know like each note is super unique, just in the way that that this is a dark shade of red, and this is a lighter shade of red, and this is yellow. Someone with perfect pitch just knows that each discrete note is different and what it's named. Relative pitch is when you just need one note to sort of refer everything back to, and then you can figure things out really quickly by figuring out the distance between the notes. Okay. Jared Carrier, when you analyze the becoming from the Downward Spiral, be sure to check out the live version. So much better than the album cut. Really? Okay. Yeah, I've gotten to the habit of watching the live versions before I film my analysis, because sometimes I'll hear something in the live recording that is much more clear in the live. Wait, did I just say studio? I meant to say studio. And it's a lot clearer in the live version. And so it'll just, make certain muddy tones a lot clearer. Plus, it's really fun and rewarding and amazing. I will do that. Do you guys think that I should analyze the becoming studio version and the becoming still version in the same video? I think so. It's going to be a long video, guys. Alex, I'm curious to know what you find difficult about playing the guitar as opposed to other instruments. I played the violin when I was younger, so I kind of understand like how stringed instruments work. They're not nearly as linear, at least not the same way as a keyboard, which is my first instrument. I actually think it's more the mechanics of it. Just holding down the strings was very painful. And just learning that new motion, you know, I mean, when you're playing the violin too, you have to like learn certain bowing techniques. Those came more naturally to me than like strumming and picking and everything. So I think it's just a matter of like just getting through the physical discomfort for me mostly. And then I would just probably want to learn how to read guitar tabs. I think I was just young, Alex. I think I was just young and impatient. And if I wasn't immediately good at something, I just dropped it. Too bad. That's okay. I'm here now and I have patience. Mark, what is a song you find silly that you enjoy? Everything. Oh gosh. Have you guys heard of Lovage? It's a Mike Patton project. It's that song that he did with, oh gosh, I'm forgetting the name. If you have been watching any of my other videos and you've heard me say I'm not good with lyrics, well, I'm also not good with song titles always. Book of the Month. I love Book of the Month by Lovage. That is a great, silly song. Harry Hogg says, Google Nine Inch Nails strobe light now. Well, you won't be able to hear it. That's the problem. Sad face. Tim Brooks, is the Becoming in 13/4 time? I actually haven't counted it out yet. So, but it's probably the first thing that I'm going to mention when I make my video. I think it's like a measure of 6/4 and then 7/4. Oh yeah, 6 and 7. That would be 13. I think it is. I think it's in. But I would personally, I would say 6/4, a measure of 6/4 and a measure of 7/4 instead of 13/4. Just because of the way it's phrased, it doesn't feel like one. That doesn't feel like one measure to me, is what I'm saying. And then if it was one measure, I mean, if it was in 13/4, it would have to be one measure of 13 beats each. So it would just get a little confusing. And I think people naturally subdivide into smaller groupings of 2, 3, and 4 when they're hearing music. All becoming all the time. Nice one, possibly, Steve-O. Become the Becoming, the subgenius, yes. Kathleen says, I'm down for both versions of the Becoming in the same video. Yeah. Somebody left a comment today that was like, I think you should make your videos under 12 minutes, then your channel will blow up. And I know they were just trying to help, but I was thinking, you know, I once tried to make a shorter video and it didn't work out. And everyone is always saying, I would listen to you talk about Nine Inch Nails all day. And so I think I should just let them be long. What do you guys think? Be honest. If you feel like my videos are too long, I would love to know that, really. Will not be offended. I want to make them good and better and stronger. And yeah, Alex, the Becoming that time signature is pretty weird. It's a pretty weird one. Did someone just say if I can play power chords? If I can play power chords on the guitar, I can fumble around a keyboard. Oh. No Control says I played Lovage during an art class and everyone was looking at me like I was crazy. I mean, it is a crazy band. It's so good, though. B. Jason Killet or Kiet or Olet. I can't read your name. Sorry. Olet. There are no tracks from Strobe Light. Oh, is it like... Okay. Interesting. Some great suggestions for things for me to check out. Thank you all. Everyone's saying they like the length. Keep the videos long. Okay. YouTube likes longer videos. Just want them to be good. Aaron says you could always do a mixture of longer and shorter videos, like one song videos for shorter and full albums for longer. maybe. I just can't stop talking about this music. I mean, just so you know, my raw footage is about an hour and a half long. And I edit it down to like between 15 and 30 minutes. Strobe light was the best April Fool's. Okay, well, now I'm not going to be surprised. It's a joke. I might have heard of this, actually. James Hall, making your videos 12 minutes or less would require you to edit so much of what makes your videos awesome. That's kind of how I was feeling, but I just think I needed to hear y'all say it. Thank you. Keep them my length. That's right. How'd they get so long? That's the wrong melody for that line. Sorry. How'd they get so long? By the way, I'm a dork, in case you haven't noticed. Oh, Primus. Can't wait for the Ixie Primus Theory episodes. Says the subgenius. Okay. Elena, can you tell us... Oh, where'd that comment? Can you tell us a little bit about your process making the videos? Do you outline them on paper first and research, or just record on the fly? Yeah, that's a good question. At first, I just did it all on the fly. And that's when I would end up with like 2 hours of footage, or longer, because I was just rambling to myself, and I would like be sort of figuring it out as I went on the piano. Now I am a little kinder to myself, and I have more of a process. So I'll listen to the song a bunch of times on headphones, and I will make notes usually on a notebook. Things that I just really love about the song and really appreciate about it, because I really like talking about those like little details. And then I'll usually go to the piano and I'll figure out what the key is. I'll figure out what the chord progression is. And by this time, I'll usually have opened up a Google Doc, and I will basically write out a whole outline. Otherwise, I think my videos, sometimes they kind of jumped around, and you can probably see that my older ones, like they maybe didn't have as much of a flow. I still think they're good, but I'm always trying to improve. So trying to make them a little bit more, have more continuity. So yeah, I have an outline, and sometimes I will actually write something that I want to say and I don't want to forget it. And I'll record that. But for the most part, I'm just expressing myself, and I might stumble over my words and have to edit that out, but it's all pretty candid. I also record those sessions. So if I ever start a Patreon, which is something I wanted to mention at the end of this live stream, I would totally be down to share those with you, so you can see my face when I realize what's actually happening. I am totally all by myself, and I'm like, what? That's insane. Coffee Points. This interior looked like one of those Austin co-op houses. Oh, really? No co-op here, but I live very, very close to a giant co-op. Are you in Austin? Okay. Oh, my aunt is here. Hi, Aunt Celeste. Hi, Leslie. My comedy and edits are the absolute best. Yeah, some of you may not have seen yet. I have a video. It's not a Nine Inch Nails video. It's a parody kind of comedy. I don't know what it is, but it's me documenting my frustrations, learning how to mix my music properly. So just like audio engineering stuff. That was a little bit of a steep learning curve at first. And one of the ways I deal with things is by making funny videos. So that was pretty fun. You can find that if you wish. Okay. Favorite band besides Nine Inch Nails? Okay. This is a tough one, because I would say growing up and well into my 20s, my favorite band was Korn, actually. Not necessarily because they are the best band, but because I discovered them when I was 14 at a very impressionable age, I bought their first album, Korn, and I was completely blown away. It was everything I needed at the time. And I just stuck with them and watched them evolve. And I don't exactly know what they're up to now. I know they make coffee. Deftones is way up there. Also around the same age. I bought Adrenaline. I bought Around the Fur, and White Pony after that. But yeah, I listened to that stuff so much, and I still listen to it. I really appreciate it. But I also listen to a ton of electronic music, actually. So G. Jones, I love. He's a trap artist. And I have a whole playlist, actually, of my like favorite everything. Maybe I'll share that with people. So I mostly listen to like metal and hard stuff. And I don't even know, what would you call the Deftones? Just good rock, hard rock. And then like trap and tech house and stuff like that. A lot of instrumental music, actually. I really, really love instrumental music. Korn is solid. I was never a big fan, but I mean solid band. Yeah, I mean, Korn, hell yeah. Yes, Korn, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know some people make fun of them, but does my aunt dig Nine Inch Nails? I don't know, Leslie. Do you? Sparrowhawk, I think we might be almost literally the same age. Oh, figuring it out. It's not a secret. I'm 36. G. Jones, yes. I love all the love for Korn. That's cool. I'll read that later. Tomas, hi Ixie. I'd be interested in hearing your breakdown of The Perfect Drug. I got a Nine Inch Nails tribute band. It was a tough one for us, but it worked out on stage nicely. Still, I think you could surprise me. Wow, I'd love. Do you have any recordings of your band? I would love to hear some live covers. Yes, I want to analyze The Perfect Drug. That's another one I was planning to do before The Downward Spiral, and it didn't work out. But that is I mean, I've heard like murmurings that Trent doesn't love that track for some reason, but I think it's one of the greats. That whole breakdown, that pre-chorus, and I want to. It's crazy. My aunt wants to know what Korn songs should she listen to. I'll message you later. Okay. Vote for Deftones analysis, yes. New metal. Yeah, Gormore says, I know Deftones hates the label new metal, but I think heavy is a good description. Yeah, I can hear that. Amon Tobin. Oh, yeah. I got to get more into Amon Tobin. Is that how you say it? I hope I'm saying it right. Okay. You know who else I think is incredible? Tigran Hamasyan. Is he Estonian? Oh, shoot. I'm not sure. It's instrumental, like rock, prog rock. Oh my gosh. I'm speechless. Go listen to it. Someone thought I was 25. Yeah, I know. I've been getting a couple comments from some men, now that I have all this exposure, that imply that they think I am younger than I am, and that I'm like the current generation that's growing up right now, which I guess is flattering, but at the same time, it's like. This is fun. I think I want to ask you all more specific question. I want to know what your first Nine Inch Nails album was and if it's your favorite. And if it is, do you think it's because it was your first? Go. With Teeth, yes and yes. Pretty Hate Machine on cassette. Not my favorite, but still treasured. Right. At the heart of it all is actually... Oh, okay. First was Broken, favorite Downward Spiral. Okay. My first was Pretty Hate Machine. It's not my favorite. All right. First was Downward Spiral. With Teeth is my favorite. With Teeth, and I think so. Broken first, favorite. My first was a Downward Spiral, and yes, it is my favorite. And no, I genuinely think it's just my favorite. Yeah. The Downward Spiral. The Downward Spiral favorite is the Fragile. Yes. Well, I can understand that. Fragile is a masterpiece. Fragile. It stuck with me, whereas the others have kind of drifted away. Down the Spiral was my first. Still has a special place in my heart. Still the album, I imagine. No, maybe you're saying it still has a special place in your heart. Fragile, yes. Possibly, yes. Interesting. Okay. This is cool. I was just curious because that's the case for me with the Downward Spiral. It's the first and my favorite, and I can't tell if it's because it's the first or because I think it is like just my thing. I'm really not sure. But I have that pattern with really all the other bands that I discovered around the same time, so I'm just curious if everybody else was kind of like that or not. Favorite is The Slip. Ooh, Patrick McBain. Hey, that is super cool. Not a lot of people say that about The Slip. It's got some gems. If y'all don't get The Slip, like get it, listen to Echoplex with headphones and lie down and close your eyes and really pay attention to all the harmony, especially the last 2 minutes. Oh no, actually, if you don't get The Slip, listen to Echoplex from the 2-minute mark onward. Try that. See if it changes something inside of you. It's so hard to rank albums, isn't it, everybody? I can say this is my favorite because I just there's a different feeling I have towards this album. But after that, I don't really know how to rank them. They're all so different. Corona Radiata. Yes. Underrated. I have a video idea in the works called 9 Nine Inch Nails songs that are underrated that I love. I'll find a catchier name. For the rest of this live stream, maybe we'll wrap it up in about 10 minutes or right around 4:30. So that's in 7 minutes or 6 minutes. If you want to ask me a question, do it at IXY Music so I can see it more easily. Just because there are lots of comments kind of scrolling by. And I'm just trying to make sure I get to everybody. Yes. Talk about The Slip. It's so good. Game Chimp. I think the Downward Spiral is considered a classic album because it's a great sonic journey. Would you agree? Yeah, I mean, it is a concept album for one. So I just feel like concept albums, they have such a strong narrative or so strong thematically, and it really pulls you into a whole world. It's so immersive. But I also think that the Downward Spiral just doesn't sound dated. I think this could come out today. I really do. And I would still be completely blown away. So I think it will stand the test of time and be a classic forever. Those are my thoughts. Ryan asked me if I'm in a band. I'm not in a band. I have never been in a band. Is God Break Down the Door on the underrated list? I have only listened to that one a few times. It didn't grab me. So it's not on my list, but can't say that it won't be if I get more familiar with it. What do I think of the theme's concept of year zero? Yeah, actually, I could tell when I first heard it. I guess I first heard year zero in 2009. And I could tell that it was way more political and about the environment. There's this sudden shift away from talking about his world, his problems basically, and his experience to something that was bigger than him. So I remember going wow, this is really interesting. I think it's awesome. And I'm still learning about it. I didn't even know about the whole ARG and the red horse vector. And I mean, I'm still getting into it. But I really appreciate just that shift outside of himself. So many great songs. And to just to listen to it, knowing that there's this story and to feel the paranoia and just the whole experience, with this disc, the way that just these graphics and the way this disc changes color. I don't know. It's just great. It's just so much more than music, Sparrowhawk, how many times have you seen Nine Inch Nails live and when? Great question. I kind of want to know all of that about you too. So the first time I tried to see Nine Inch Nails was in, I think, 2007 or 8. Or maybe it was 2009. I actually can't remember exactly. But I tried to see them and it was the Ninja Tour, right? So 2009, right? So it was the Ninja Tour. And me and my friend, we showed up late, fashionably late, because I thought there would be an opener. And then I thought Jane's Addiction would go on and then Nine Inch Nails would headline because, of course, it's Nine Inch Nails. And I walked into the stadium and Trent Reznor is singing a couple notes and then he's like, "Good night." And he walks off and I was like, "What?" And I asked the security guard, I was like, wasn't Nine Inch Nails, was it? He's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure they finished playing." And then Jane's Addiction came on and I was just in shock. And then I sat down and I cried a little bit. And, but the good news is that a few years later, so I think it was 2013, I saw them in 2013. I saw them in 2014. And then the last time I saw them was in 2017. Yeah. At the Day for Night Festival in Houston. And I cried. It was so good. They were all good, but I think my love for Nine Inch Nails and my appreciation for the whole discography has only really become really personally meaningful in the last 5 years. For whatever reason, it just took me some time, I think, to really feel all of it and really get it. And so yeah, it was amazing. So 3 times with a 4th possible. Are any originals, Mark Brugger, are any originals going to be in the works of the future or the future? In the future, maybe. Originals of my own? Yes. I have a single coming out on April 2nd. That's Friday. It's called Siberia. I actually produced it when I was a lot younger. And I just had a lot of self-doubt that stopped me from doing a lot of things all my life. And that was one of the things I just never did. And, now I'm older and wiser and I'm like, why shouldn't I? So I mixed it, and worked with a mastering engineer who did a great job polishing it. And, it is coming. And then I've got a couple others that are coming. But yeah, this is definitely the era of original IXY music and I'm excited about it. So that'll be available on Spotify and all those platforms as well as Bandcamp. When Window Liquor asked me Purity Ring. Purity Ring is really cool. They just released a track, I think it was in 2020, called Stardew. And the music video is, I can't even put into words. It's so disturbing and so beautiful. So I think all of you might like that, because that's pretty much Nine Inch Nails right there, right? I saw Purity Ring in Japan, and it was crazy. It was cool. Matt Hardeen, tell us about your release coming up soon. Yeah, I kind of just talked about it, but basically it's like a ambient, down-tempo IDM track. It's very melodic, very pretty, a lot of atmosphere to it. It's got a groove. I feel like it's sort of like got a sort of sparse, almost trip-hop groove. And there's a drone. I love drones, and so does Nine Inch Nails. So some of you might dig it. Some of you, it just might not be your thing, and that's totally cool. How did Still make you feel the first time you listened to it? IOSIS. Iosis. Oh, that's a great question. I can't remember that time, actually. Yeah, it's like kind of vague. It's sort of just this like ghost of a memory. Maybe that's how it made me feel. I don't know who Mantra is, y'all. Etienne. What made you confident enough? I think I finally just, honestly, I found a type of therapy that helped me really confront some stuff from my past and stuff that's been holding me back all my life, and help me address it and like figure out how to think about it differently. And suddenly, kind of overnight, it was just like, oh, there's no risk to putting yourself out there. There's nothing to lose, because if you feel good about who you are and you like what you're doing, then it does not matter if other people don't like it. It really doesn't. And the best, worst case scenario, some people won't like it. Best case scenario, you could change someone's life, or you could make them cry or make them smile, or just give them 5 minutes of feeling nice, or any emotion, really. It's like, why are we here if we're not to share? So, yeah. Actually, I will say one more thing about that. Nothing has stopped me now because I don't care anymore. That's kind of actually how I feel. Not that I don't care, but that I don't care what other people think anymore. And that's sort of been like my little mantra while I've been analyzing Piggy. It's just like, yeah, you're unstoppable when you reach a point where you're like, you know what? Why not? Oh, it looks like I missed my 4:30 cutoff. How to Destroy Angels' Thoughts. Awesome. I've only heard one album, or did I only have one album? I remember hearing Fur-Lined and not knowing who How to Destroy Angels was, and being like, this sounds like Nine Inch Nails with a female singer. I loved it. Yeah, I want to listen to them some more. Nothing to lose, Andy Kirkwood. That's right. Because if you respect yourself, then you can't lose that. Nothing to fear, nothing to doubt. Oh, Radiohead reference. Yes. You're all wonderful. I'm so glad we did this. I think I probably should wrap it up. I have a little piggy waiting for me that needs editing. But I will leave the chat open for a few minutes, and I will definitely put this on YouTube so you can watch it later or send it to people. Oceanbound, yes, Piggies tomorrow. And if I didn't get to your question, yeah, I'll try to answer it later. I just appreciate you all so much. You're great. So smart, clever, so passionate. And I'm just glad we're doing this together. Oh yeah, I was going to say, I am thinking of starting a Patreon because I have a lot of content that's never going to make it to YouTube. And I have, I'm transcribing my piano covers. I have so many ideas for things that I can do to honor the people that are able to support me in that way. So if that sounds like something I should do, leave a comment. I'm probably going to do it anyway, but yeah. I want this to be sustainable. I want this to continue, and it's growing, and I'm definitely gonna need some support from in all different ways. Just you being here, just you commenting and sharing the video and just talking with me if that's all you can do, that is completely fine. It means everything to me. So, yay. Okay. It's hard to say goodbye, but I'm going to say goodbye now. We're all in this together. Yeah, let's do this again sometime. I will figure out how to get the audio from my computer to stream so that we can do some live reactions together and you can vote and play music and who knows what else. And if you have ideas for other live streams, let me know. Oh, someone says be sure to hit like. Aw, thanks. Thank you all. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye. Bye.